All right, so the resume is unbelievably important for your congressional search. It should be one page, and a lot of you are visual. So I thought let's do a little video. That way, if you want to work on your resume on your own, we'll do this together. I will also do the resume for you from scratch, either over the phone or here in my office. It's $95. We try to keep the prices as incredibly low as we can. Corporate resumes are over $1,000, but we're dealing with a lot of student loan debt and a lot of money's tight, and we're here to help. So if you want me to do your resume, great. I'll do it. We'll do it for you. But if you would like to save a few bucks and do it on your own, that's why we're doing this video. So I'm going to do a template for you of someone who I really love and really admire. And we won't do all of the bullets, but we'll build out the template for you so that you have a good sense. So this is our candidate. It would be, if I were doing this for myself, it would be that. Chiefs of staff really don't want to mess with folks that are not already in DC because it's a bit of a headache. So if you can illustrate that you're in DC, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to use my office as the address. If you're a woman, I advise folks not to use apartment numbers. The Congress doesn't mail anything anyway, so the benefit of the address is to just let offices know that you're already located here in Washington, D.C. But beyond that, I don't really think there is a ton of value in the mailing address for traditional mailing purposes. Here, we'll do the email address. I'll do my real one. Okay. If you were to leave this, that blue right there, congressional printers will not print in color. Many of them will not print in color, which means that will be a blank. It'll be a blank space when they print it. So make sure that it is black. And then your telephone number. Let's see here. And then your LinkedIn link. This is a very big deal. /in/Brent A. Sullivan. Okay. Then you'll do 3 dots, dashes, and then hit enter. Now, for this particular resume, we have a congressional internship, so I'm going to put that in here. Turn, yep. And then we'll do now, you can do any font that you find to be readable, but the font that I love is Garamond. Really love it. Kind of a personal preference, but I love Garamond. I also make the name slightly bigger. What I don't do is this stuff. Like, that's ridiculous. That is, look at, that's about you. Tone it down. Stay humble. Bold this. Little italics on the title. This is a little tight, so I think what I'll do is just modify the layout just a touch. Left, right. And then that gives us just a little bit of space, which looks really sharp. Now, I forgot to do the title. In this case, we'll call this Congressional Experience. If you came from the State Department, or if you came from private industry to the Hill, then we would probably change that up a little bit. But because this is an internship, we're going to call it Congressional Experience. And then we're going to grab our bullets in here. Okay. And then, in this particular case, we have nonprofit policy and this is also personal preference. I love the little boxes. I'm not a huge fan of the circles, and I'll usually do the little boxes at 10 point. So I'll keep the wording at 12, but I'll do the boxes at 10. It's very stylistic, but at the finish of it all, hopefully you'll have a sense of what you like. A little bold here. Whoops. January. Okay. And then probably 4 or 5 bullets here. Next, we have another nonprofit experience, the Alliance for Justice. Okay. I always spell out the months, but that's really up to you. I think it looks more professional. Okay. Now, here, you can do volunteer service. Shows that you're well-rounded. I usually don't do bullets for volunteer service. It's usually a wonderful conversation piece in an interview, but you don't really need bullets for your volunteer work. So let's use some common spots. American Red Cross Volunteer, Habitat for Humanity. Another good one would be if you don't have any volunteer experience, I would ask you if you have any campaign experience. If you don't have any campaign experience, I would ask if you have volunteer experience. Sometimes, especially with veterans, they've been so busy serving the country that they haven't done a lot of volunteer work. Well, being a veteran is like the ultimate in service. So you don't need volunteer service if you've been in the military. That's the ultimate service. So it's okay if you don't have volunteer service or campaign experience if you're in the military. But it's really ideal to show you're multidimensional. So if you do have volunteer service or campaign experience, put it in here. Same goes for the campaign work. If this is a huge component of your work, like for example, if you had a job in the campaign world, then we would build that as bullets. But um, and let's see here. I would highly advise you to consider using. I would ask you to consider using campaigns that won. It doesn't really look that great if you have 5 campaigns listed here under campaign experience, and everybody lost. So try if you can to put winners on there. Then we'll do education. The schools will give you horrendous advice, and they will say that experience education should go at the top. That's ridiculous. Members of Congress, chiefs of staff, legislative directors, they care very deeply about your experience. So campaign work, volunteer service, work on Capitol Hill. For the Congress, it doesn't really matter where you went to school. It really doesn't. So I'll use my own degree, Bachelor of Arts, Communications, University of Richmond. I have a second degree, which is not relevant at all to working on the Hill. I think it's helpful, but not really helpful. I think it's really a personal goal for a lot of people. I don't really think that having a master's degree is terribly helpful on Capitol Hill, other than maybe if you're working on policy as a staffer that you're also focusing on in grad school. But so Master of Science. Okay. We will always, always, always keep things to one page, always. But to show a few more possible categories, we sometimes will do a section, honors and awards. So this would be huge award for military. If you graduated magna cum laude, anything in Latin we would italicize. I would not do magna cum laude and university dean's list, simply because it's pretty obvious that if you graduated with Latin honors, you made it on the university dean's list. If, however, you did not graduate cum laude, summa cum laude, magna cum laude, you can always do university dean's list. Another one that I absolutely love, because it's multidimensional, is NCAA Scholar Athlete. Because college athletics is time-consuming, and it's essentially a full-time job. You have to be a team player to be a Division I athlete. You're always dealing with other athletes. So but let's assume just for a moment that we're going to focus on keeping it to this one page. You know, just so I can just so I can show you. Let us say that you did want to put in this honors and awards, and you're saying, well, wait a second, you said one page. What I would probably do in this instance, I would consider either dropping a bullet, and that gets us part of the way there, or what I would do probably would be tinker with the top and the bottom, and there you go. So or perhaps it could be swimming, golf. I have a guy who I adore and love. He is a national rifle champion. So I think we did something like something along those lines. But let's just go back to NCAA. Okay, there you go. So we have education, honors and awards, volunteer service, campaign experience, and then we would fill out these bullets. Okay, so that would be 5 out of 15 to 20 very common duties that you would perform in a congressional office. I would do this with Third Way. I would do this with Alliance for Justice. Please make sure on your LinkedIn account that this URL is customized, because if it's not, it's going to populate something crazy. Maybe we'll do a video soon on, in fact, I think we will. I think we'll do a video on LinkedIn. So please go into your LinkedIn profile and ensure that this is customized. Everything else down here looks pretty straightforward. Keep in mind that this document is going to evolve as your career evolves, and it's going to, you can customize this and tinker with this based on the job that you're looking for. If you're looking to become a legislative assistant and you're going to be an energy LA, well then these bullets would change. So for example, so you can do whatever you need to do to showcase your experience and your background. I hope that this template is helpful. If you need anything at all, we would love to help. You can book an appointment online at timeonthehill.com. There's a button that says book appointment, and book there. And hopefully this helps. If there's anything you need, just let us know. And if you have suggestions, comments, or tips for videos and content, our mission is to try to take all of the good information that's out there and just put it in one manageable place and try to give it to you in a very affordable manner. So thank you so much, and hope to talk to you soon.